it's like people must think I'm an idiot or something. Like one day I'll get around to reading the manga and I'm gonna flip through it. Where is our piece? There's no our piece in One Piece.
I am Noxiddar!
Hey everyone, how's it going? Noxiddar here, and welcome to the next reaction of the One Piece anime, starting with episode 58 today. Our Straw Hat crew has found themselves to, I suppose, maybe the Lost Island? I'm not too sure. But they found some ruins at the top of the island that have a lot of dragon iconography on them. And they found themselves falling through it because a piece was not tall enough to use the dragon tooth talon as a key. I still have this weird feeling because it's kind of like an uninhabited island that was ultimately what Grandpa Ryu was really trying to get at, was just to get home to be with everybody else. Never mind the fact that they may not be there anymore. We'll see. Also, Nami caught like a little view of a whirlwind effect, and we know that Erik is setting out on his own to go after them. So without any further ado, let's get right to our reaction. Oh yeah, the mural. Well, if it isn't mapped, they've got the best person there to decipher it. She's definitely piecing something together right there. Oh, well there goes my intro. Right. Makes sense. But that's where Grandpa Ryu was. Hold up. Is this gonna play out like just because of his old age, his memory got so bad that he didn't realize he was on the island of the dragons and he was in the nest? Maybe I completely misinterpreted what this is implying, but that's, I don't know. I could see that very well being a possibility with as fuzzy as his memory has been thus far. That's possible. Yeah. We're looking for like a sunken city, like an Atlantis for dragons. Wow. Dang. The eyesight's going too. He definitely remembers something with the birds. We got that in the other flashback. Oh. That's really neat how it connects to his memory while also kind of like visualizing it with the map. I think that is a really important lesson, that if there's something that you want bad enough to go after, then failing is one thing, but giving up without ever knowing is probably the worst way to go about it. And you know, you hear about a lot of people that are live tortured lives, especially in their older age, looking back and having regrets and wondering what what could have been. And the one most wholesome message that I've gotten from these 50 some odd episodes of One Piece is that to live an exciting life in pursuit of your dreams is not to set aside the dream, but to pursue it to its natural conclusion, whether that's the attainment of it or to at least have, finished in full pursuit of what it is that you dream for. It's something that I think this story just does so well. I sometimes find it's really hard during these episodes to talk about how I feel about them and how I feel about the story, because people keep hitting me over the head like I'm some kind of a nail and they're a hammer, that this is filler. It didn't mean anything. It wasn't in the manga. Therefore, any kind of commentary I might provide is also just as equally as meaningless. And I have to say, I sarcastically just said that I would just start breaking these episodes up and taking even more time to go through them. And I only half meant that, because there's a part of me that's like, I'm not bothered by the fact that something is a filler, and I am almost stubborn enough to wait out people that are, so that they just give up and leave, because I enjoy a story as it's presented. I don't enjoy a story necessarily because someone told me how to enjoy it. And so I guess now we're just going to move into this tangent and address it since I brought it up. I bring this up all the time in the comments, and sometimes I'm pretty confident I'm just talking to a wall. The idea of filler in general, right, comes from a foreknowledge of what the manga presents, and that these are stories and storylines that are absent from the manga. But people have to remember, I didn't read the manga before I watched One Piece, right? I started with the live action, now I'm moving to the anime. And so I'm doing this archaeological dig where I start at the top of the soil and I work my way down to, like a natural living history. So if something is not present in the manga and I'm watching it in the anime, that doesn't matter to me. It's like people must think I'm an idiot or something. Like one day I'll get around to reading the manga and I'm going to flip through it. Where is our piece? There's no our piece in One Piece. Do they think I'm going to have a lesser experience because I find out something was filler in an anime and it wasn't present in the manga? No, I'm going to enjoy it. I enjoy story. I'm a lover of story. And that's an all-encompassing thing. How a story is told, decisions that go into the creative processes. So to me, having filler, while some people want to dismiss it out of hand as not necessary, unimportant, or something like that, I want to know why it was creatively chosen to put here. How does it affect the flow of things that are actual canon to the story of One Piece as told by Eiichiro Oda? I want to envision the creative minds that sit there and say, how are we going to add to this story in a way to not only fill up time, but also to fill up space and expand the world in unique and interesting ways. What sort of things can we draw out that we already know about these characters and put them in situations where we can further exemplify that, maybe we have that understanding or we're in contact with the mangaka to make sure that we have a cohesive vision. This idea that I'm supposed to just skip this stuff or that I shouldn't put very much importance into what I'm seeing actively hurts the experience, not just for me, but for everyone. Why would you do that? Why would you go to people that are watching and experiencing the story and try to belittle their experience? How little do you think of yourself? Because the truth is, everything that you say is a reflection of you and how you think. And so the moment you put something into a comment, that is what you think. That is a reflection of you and who you are as a person. So I really want you to consider that when you make comments, when you try to comment on the experience or influence the way that people experience things. I don't think a lot of it comes from a malicious place. I think people are just absent-minded. That's my rant on spoilers over. We've been struggling with it for the past 5-6 months Now, granted, there was like a long period where I wasn't doing videos and stuff. Just want people to know that they aren't necessarily actively harming my experience and how I enjoy it, but they are changing my opinions of them when they talk about it and when they post about it. And I'm going to remember things like that. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm captain of this ship. One of the things I'm looking forward to most is to be able to record far ahead of what's being posted on YouTube, so that when people have comments like this, it doesn't feel like I'm slamming on the brakes and having to really chew on their words or think about why I don't agree with them. I can be so far ahead, experiencing things at my own pace that, you know, they are the ones that are going to have to wait for. And I look forward to that so much more. I really want to say that I've been enjoying every single episode that I watched of One Piece, but I have not enjoyed every single reaction's worth of comments. No slight to anybody in particular. It's like it is what it is. There are people that, whether knowingly or not, are trying to influence how I shape this experience and how I have it. And I'm going to be taking executive action to make sure that those words and that influence is minimized. And so now let's get back to our story and find out what's going on. That's right, we got to see this thing through. Ooh. Ooh. No. Yeah, no way. Didn't think so. Erik has no idea what Zoro's capable of. He was on the ship with Usopp, so he wasn't there. They didn't have a throwdown yet. That's going to be pretty exciting. It worked! See, it worked. Yeah. He's less than a caveman. I love that. So every time I would introduce myself to someone new in Japan, especially in a formal setting, I don't even know if my Japanese is very good here, but that I think adds to the humor. I learned the word for caveman was genshijin. I would always say, like, watashi no nihongo ga chouto genshijin desu. And then everybody would just erupt in laughter. I felt like that was a really good icebreaker because nobody really had to worry at that point. By acknowledging that I had a weakness and the weakness was Japanese, I think it took a lot of pressure off. It's one thing when someone's sitting there and they're like, oh, this guy, he doesn't understand a word I'm saying. But for me to say, I will understand not a word you say, in my own unique comedic way that kind of conveys that, I think that's more empowering. And I've had so many more, I think, positive interactions, especially in more formal settings. I've had a lot of good memories, a lot of especially meeting with Kocho sensei and Kyoto sensei when I would go to new schools, or that particular school would have a rotation with a new Kyoto sensei, like a vice principal, or Kocho sensei, a new principal. Those kind of jiko sokais, those self-introductions and things like that were always fun. The fact that Luffy is less than a caveman, that's pretty good. That is a personal connection that I can have. Oh wow, they're flying. I take cash, credit, or PayPal. Let's do this. That's what I say all the time. It's like, it's fine. We're fine. And it's clearly not. Oh, that's epic. That's quite a stretch. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, I thought you were gonna let him escape last time because you had somewhere else to be. This guy has a mix of motivations. Oh! The whole fleet's there. Pretty much, yep. I find the Straw Hat's confidence to be entirely too infectious, and I carry that same confidence with me into a first boss attempt on Elden Ring, and that's usually also about the time I lose that confidence as well. Let's go ahead and get started with episode 59. Oh, nice. Is that the first time he's done that? I can't remember. If it is, then that's probably the callback that got used in the One Piece live action, which is pretty funny. That's cool. I feel like the people that are producing this series of episodes and this story arc have to be a lot more creative with how they build up excitement and tension, and how they also resolve these conflicts that they establish within these arcs, because nothing really major can carry over once the main story finally picks back up, right? Like, characters can't become grievously wounded. The ship itself, which also in and of its own right is another character, can't sustain such heavy damage either. So then you play around with ideas like this to get around them, and whether that's through input with Eiichiro Oda or not, I think that those kind of things are really interesting to see, because it is in a way a form of problem solving with a unique set of circumstances that you both have to create, and then within that sandbox you have to make the conflict and resolve it while leaving things relatively unblemished. That's what I'm looking forward to, is seeing how we get ourselves out of this little bit of a situation that we're in. Oh, we're gonna do a lot more than that, I imagine. Super giant cannon, let's go. I want to see it. Bring it on. Oh, they weren't kidding. That's massive. Usopp, good shot, my man. Well played. Finally, a little Usopp appreciation. And then on top of that, everybody says it doesn't count. Like I said, that's an incredible reach right there. That's a lot of people. So, some cannon fodder. Oh my gosh. I was thinking about, once I got farther into One Piece, going back and playing through the One Piece like Muso games, Pirate Warrior or something like that. And I imagine that's exactly what it would be like if I was playing as Luffy in it. Just Marines flying everywhere. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is. This is like some Dynasty Warriors action right here. I love it. Oh, was I wrong about extensive damage?
さっきのかまいたちはわざと外したんだぜ。
Actually, it wasn't him. It was probably the people making the show. Wouldn't let it happen.
待て、今手を出せば奴の技でアピスやナミたちまでやられる。
そうか、わかった。じゃあ足でやる。
I like the way he thinks.
今日だぞ。アピスを出せ。
お前は人質だ。
Come on, Grandpa to you.
手こずらせやがって。
Here we go. Yeah. Oh, he's waking up. That's cool.
リュウジが声を出した。
Is he gonna make it?
頑張れリュウジ。
He's getting those engines fired up. Let's go. I was gonna say he's gotta get past a lot of cannon fire.
その調子だ。はよ撃ち落とせ。
Oh no, they're landing hits. Oh, he's gonna settle this. He's got those jet engines. Oh no! Maybe he's going full submersible. No, maybe not.
ああ、わかってる。必ずアピスを助けるさ。そしてお前をリュウノスに連れて行く。だから頑張って生きろ。
What a place to end it. That's not what I thought was going to happen. I thought they were going to just continue, you know, kicking tail on the boat like that. But that's pretty exciting. That's really cool. Yeah, I did not expect Grandpa Ryu to turn into an attack jet and try to take it to the massive warship. I love these stories. And so sometimes it's a little disheartening to read comments that, you know, in the moment while I'm enjoying something. I've been watching some other content creators and not necessarily watching their reaction, just reading their comments that are a lot further into One Piece. One of the things I'm noticing is that there's a lot of people that take things really seriously if you get like aspects wrong or if you don't think about things the right way. And I want people to know before we really get into the meat and potatoes, especially with the next upcoming saga, that's where I saw a lot of that, to the point that the reactors that I was watching had to address that. They're watching it, it's fresh, it's new to them. They haven't been on message boards, they haven't been deep in subreddits, they haven't been posting excessively on Twitter, they haven't been obsessing about things for decades and watching as it manifests. They haven't been watching several other dedicated One Piece channels. They haven't been watching several other necessarily One Piece reaction channels. When we get into the meat and potatoes of that, I think they were in the Arabasta saga, which is where we're going to be heading here pretty shortly. I just want people to know that I'm not going to abide by that. The moment that you go into fact checker mode and you contribute nothing to the experience that I'm having other than trying to salvage your own integrity of how you view the show, I will boot you so hard off of my ship. You will go down like Grandpa Ryu under a hail of cannon fire and I will never hear from you again. For me, the experience is the movement. Not like I am not the great One Piece historian. I have not enlisted the help of great One Piece historians. I will get facts wrong. Part of it is because when you're seeing me and you're seeing any reactor giving a fresh take, they're not going into things with foreknowledge, or at least most of them are not going into things with foreknowledge. They're not coming in with any sort of expertise. It is a skill to both be able to watch things, critically analyze them, provide commentary, and then edit it and put it out so people see a raw, authentic reaction, right? And so it feels like when people are like, you got this wrong, No, they didn't. They experienced it exactly the way they would have experienced it 100 out of 100 times. The facts might have been wrong, but that doesn't mean that like the way they experienced it or the way they arrived at those conclusions are wrong. That's just the way they arrived at these things as they happened. I do want to stress though that there are good ways to kind of inform people of like when they make mistakes or if you want to clarify something. And it usually doesn't start in a comment with something to the effect of like, you guys clearly seem to forgot. and like being a pretentious little douchebag, okay? Because that's what you would be if you did things like that. I almost hope that people don't take my soft-spoken voice, my sincere, authentic nostalgia trips, and they arrive at the conclusion that I am like incapable of being sarcastic and fiery and all of these things. I want you to know it's exactly because I know how to do those things so well that I also know how to control them. I don't have this red beard for nothing, my friends. We've been kind of building for this. I'm actually surprised I've been this patient with this many fillers in a row before I've kind of come to this conclusion that I need to maybe start cleaning house if people just can't enjoy something for what it is. I'm very passionate about this show. I did not expect a story like this to have so much meaning to me. So I don't want people to assume that I don't understand why they take things so seriously. Why things have to be perfect in their mind, because in their mind this was such a perfect and wholesome, complete experience for them that they feel like they have to curate or influence perceptions to make sure that everybody has the same experience in them. That's not always going to be the case. And so the reason why I seem really super fired up about this is because I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing in the anime. And I'm not really enjoying all the things that I'm seeing surrounding it in the comments. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, I started this journey as one person on a dinghy, going out into the vast ocean of episodes that relate to the One Piece anime to have this adventure. And at the end of the day, if that's all it needs to be, that's all it's gonna be. Again, my goal is to react way far ahead so that comments like these don't really influence me at all. Right now it's kind of difficult because I'm recording the episode, editing the episode, and then uploading the episode, and then immediately interfacing with the audience. And maybe I need to create a degree of separation where I come back later and talk to everybody in the comments if that's what it's going to be. But that's really a choice for the community, not so much for me. I'm enjoying this immensely. I can't wait. We're going to have our final showdown for the East Blue. And yeah, it took 2 calendar years to get through the East Blue, which is pretty slow, but maybe it's because I'm having the experience in real time. I don't know. I look forward to our final 2 episodes, giving some parting thoughts on the East Blue as we get ready to head to our next major saga. With that being said, I will catch you in the next one. This is Noxiddar out. We'll see ya.